Hello and welcome into Talking Bengals, the world's realest podcast, because we keep it real and the Bengals are really bad right now. So it's kind of where we're at. Nick is on the DL right now with some kind of leprosy or something. I'm not really sure what's going on, but we'll have to check up on him. But right now, day to day. But Burnsy's here. Hey, Burnsy.
What's up, man?
Not good things for the Bengals. Unless you think Joe Burrow coming back and risking another catastrophic injury is a good thing, which at
Hey,
least he
you know
gets back.
what? I listened to his press conference today. He doesn't care if he gets hurt again. He's a football player and he's ready to go. And
You know
sitting
that
out doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that sounds great. That's what he wants to do. But if we're going to start calling this a business, which it's a business, then it's time to start making business decisions. If he tears his ACL, has a what's the other Achilles tear, or something else that's just horrible. I'm knocking on wood, Bengals fans. You should hear that in the background. I'm knocking. But if one of those would happen, you just screwed 2026
Mm.
for dead butt games. Trying to keep it clean for
I
that
mean, this
don't
was
matter.
about the time. I was gonna say this is about the time uh, Eric All went down too last year, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
and we have yet to see him come back. So,
So I mean, is it really worth it? Like he's a football player. He plays football. Yeah, I get that, and I respect that. It's a tough man sport, and you got to get out there and play, and that's what you get paid to do. But I want to win championships. That's what we should all be here to do. You have zero chance, even if you run the table by some miracle. Every other team gets the flu or COVID or whatever and is out for the week, and you get the automatic win. You're still not winning the Super Bowl. The NFC has too many good teams for that, and there's enough decent teams in the AFC. You just lost to the best one, which you could have beat, but
yep.
you screwed your chances here, guys. The margin for error right now is zero to have a winning season. You have to win out. Could that happen? I don't see it. I mean, could it? Buffalo just lost a game to Miami, so I mean,
Yeah.
there's a chance. But realistically, do you see that happening? I do not. I just don't think it's
Uh,
reality.
I mean, we also said that last year on the last 5 games. We're like, can they win out? Can they make a run? And they magically found a way to do it. The only thing is that the Chiefs are a bunch of babies and decided to sit out and rest for the playoffs. So,
Well, but that was a different schedule too. I mean, I don't know. Pull it up while I'm going through cheers and jeers here, and you can tell me what it's like. We'll come back to this topic. We'll get cheers and jeers of the game real quick. So my cheer for the game is Chase Brown stealing it from you because I can. Great performance, 19 carries, 107 all-purpose yards, which leads into my jeer, which you can just jump on both of these and expand because those are the biggest topics of the game. Why does Zach Taylor not go for it on 4th and 1? What do you have to lose? Especially when Rico bunts, kicks it 20 yards into the end zone. Like, oh, okay, great. Didn't
yeah.
do us any good. Your running game's getting 5.5 yards per carry. I don't understand. And what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to give him good field position? Well, you already gave him good field position by kicking it in the end zone. So it didn't make any sense to me. So that's my cheer and jeer there. Zach Taylor just continues to perplex. And I don't understand what's going on in his head.
Yeah. That was a questionable one across the board.
Mm-hmm.
This was another one I actually got to attend in person. I took my son this time. Um, but because I took him, that's why there's not a lot of content out there because most of my content was of his excitement of being there. And so um, cheer A would be his excitement just to be there and
Nice.
experiencing his first Bengals game. Uh, cheer number two is actually probably going to surprise you, and it was the run defense.
Hmm.
They held Travion Henderson to 18 carries for 66 yards. Which, if you
Dang.
look at it on the flip side, Chase Brown had 19 carries for 107. The run defense has been one of our Achilles heels
Horrible.
among many of Achilles heels on this defense. And so, for the fact that they actually held probably one of the best backs in the league right now to 66 yards, it says a lot. Um, the other kudo I'm going to give, and it's going to turn into a jeer as well. Geno Stone getting a pick six,
Yeah.
right? Uh, all well and good, but he forgot to how to cover the tight end in the middle of the field. Um, Hunter Henry, 7 catches for 115 yards and a touchdown. Everyone else on the Patriots offense who caught a ball, it was 3 catches or less and under 40 yards.
Yeah.
Literally got killed by the tight end one.
Unless you're getting guarded by Dax Hill, and then he had three defensive PIs. So other than that, I mean,
Let's go down that rabbit hole. Um, the officiating gets the biggest jeer of them all
yeah,
because you call DPI on Dax Hill, but Mike Gesicki gets pushed to the ground in a crucial moment of the game, and you don't call that. Oh, mind you, you don't call it on 4th and 10 either. What are we doing?
I don't know. The arbitrary, see, I know people are against robots doing stuff or AI, but if you're going to put in every aspect of baseball, could we have officials, that could, I mean, it have to be an instant thing. It can't take a challenge on every play. But
Right.
if it's a super obvious, not an incidental contact, could go either way, but like he just shoved the guy to the ground. That's a
Yeah.
penalty. Joe Burrow just got murdered by the other team 5 seconds after he threw the ball. That's a penalty. Those are things that should be called. A judgment call, it's really 50-50, could go either way. No. But if it's blatant, obvious, it needs to be called. And they're like, oh, well, we missed a call. Well, Giovanni
Yeah.
Bernard said it well years ago now. Doesn't do me any dang good now, does it? Thanks for
No.
your apology, but you can shove it.
Yeah. Well, I'd also like to point out that in the live moment, both of those plays, they were a judgment call. You could have thrown a flag, you could have not. But then when you go back and look at the replay after the game and go see it on, Twitter or Facebook or wherever you might catch your content, it was clear as day Mike Gesicki deserved that DP or the DPI called in favor for him. And then on top of it, I think the officiating needs to be investigated. We've got a bunch of athletes getting investigated about their um, gambling habits, if you will.
Yeah.
But the line was 5.5.
Yeah, it doesn't
They
seem
lost by
sketchy at all.
they lost by 6. So now there is plenty of things that they could have done better. You mentioned Zach Taylor's play calling, 4th and 1 throughout the game. Honestly, being there, it felt like the offense was missing Jamar Chase the entire game.
Oh,
Uh, like you just felt it. They covered T, they doubled T. You couldn't get anybody else involved. Luckily Chase Brown was finding holes and getting open and things like that. But it was just kind of crazy there. Um, and then the other side of it, too, is just the fact that um going down a rabbit hole and I forgot where I was going with it.
keep
So
going.
bear with
Keep
me.
digging.
Um, shoot, I don't know. If it comes back to me, you
No, it's
know,
fine. I'll jump in because I got one. Did Jermaine Burton get cut yet? Because that's the time to use him. You're down a receiver. If you're not even willing to let him dress and run go routes on this kind of week, or even going against Baltimore, you're down another receiver.
yeah.
Why not call him up? If you can't call him up to be your fifth or sixth guy and run a couple go routes, then cut him off the roster. What's the point
Well,
of having him?
I think they're scared too because he might go to somewhere like the Chiefs or the Eagles, and then you know he does some turnaround crap that the Cincinnati Bengals can't figure out how to do, and he's the next line for Hall of Fame or something. I don't know. I
Yeah,
couldn't tell you.
okay. Well, if what they're treating him like is he's the next John Ross, which John Ross went to several places and did nothing. So if
Right.
that's what you think about him, then just cut him.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, and I did. The other thought came to me was Joe Flacco's pick six of his own. That was just mind blowing to watch. Now he admitted after in the post game presser that hey, I just didn't see that guy. It's a all day long to T. He wasn't open, so you go to the check down, and he didn't see the linebacker coming over. You know,
But he patted the
but
ball 3 times.
everybody, yeah,
Who would not have? You'd have
ev-
picked that one off, like literally right there. As soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh crap. And I get it.
Yeah,
We're watching from above. We can see the entire field basically.
yeah,
But as soon as he tapped it the third time, you're like,
yeah. As soon as T wasn't open over the top, the immediate it should have been a
mhm.
dump down because he was wide open for a good 5 seconds. It felt like it was an eternity inside the stadium. And then as soon as he let go of the ball, I was like, oh, that's getting intercepted. Oh, no one's going to get him.
No one's going to get him. Well, our best tackler was suspended. Of course, nobody's going to get him.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, the fact
Oh.
is, it's still just a suspect team, lots of bad issues. But hey, Joe Burrow's coming back. I feel like this is that the I don't know what movie or whatever it's from, but the guy saw it. So, how's your mom? She died. How's your dad? Yeah, he died too. My wife left me. But hey, I still got the van. Like, yeah, Joe Burrow's coming back. Season's completely over. It doesn't really matter, but we
Oh.
got Joe Burrow.
But you know what? If anybody's going to come back and do it, it's going to be Joe Burrow. Like I don't see anybody else in the league missing that amount of time coming back and being able to make a 6 game run other than Joe Burrow. Like, let's talk about it. Lamar Jackson. I don't see that. I if he misses 7 games, I don't see him coming back and doing that. If if it's Patrick Mahomes, I know everybody loves him and thinks he's, the second coming. He's not doing it. Um, Josh Allen's struggling right now as we speak
Oh yeah.
in Buffalo. Can you imagine that offense with Mitchell Trubisky right now? And that's the other thing too. Like I you kind of feel for Joe Flacco in this situation because he came here, he did his job, the team around him, at least the offense did it the most that they could to help him to win football games. Defensively, they just over the last month and a half has just played really bad football. And then, like I said, this was probably the best the defense has looked in since week two,
Oh yeah. He's
easily. And they still couldn't find a way to put it all together. So hopefully, Joe coming back, they find a way to put it all together, and the melting pot just happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to hold my breath on it, but I'm trying to pull up what were the final 5 games from last year. So you had Steelers, Broncos, Browns, Titans, and Cowboys.
Cowboys, yeah,
So you're telling me out of all of those teams, the Broncos were the most competitive. Like they made the playoffs if I remember right last year, right? Yeah,
yeah,
they
they
made
did, they
the
did, yeah,
So you went from the Sisters of the Blind, Cowboys, the Titans were garbage, the Browns were browning, a good team in Denver, and then Pittsburgh is what it's been since 2011, where they kind of, have a winning season, maybe make the playoffs, but they're not really a team.
yeah.
So compared to who we play this year, you go Baltimore on a short week, then you
Yeah.
go Buffalo, then you go Baltimore, then who's I don't even know who's after. Then we get some easier games, but you got three
So you
weeks.
got, hold on, I'll pull up ours. Uh, so yeah, you got Baltimore Thanksgiving, the Bills on the 7th, then the Ravens come here on the 14th. Then you go to Miami, back home for the Cardinals, and then the Browns. So it can be done. The Bills are recoiling right now, and if you do happen to beat the Ravens twice, that gives you a good chance of taking over the division if you do happen to win the last 6 games.
Yeah, so I mean,
Because let if the Ravens split with the Steelers, right? We take two out of them, and the Steelers lose their rest of their games, which I don't know what their schedule looks like, but it's possible. Anything's possible apparently in the NFL. And all of these teams are 9-8 at the end of the year. The Bengals win the division. So I still hold on to a glimmer of hope, but it,
possibly. I mean, so here's Pittsburgh's remaining schedule. They have the Bills, then the Ravens, then the Dolphins, then the Lions, and then the Browns. They do struggle against the Browns historically. They end up beating them usually, but they struggle
yeah.
against them. Like, there's a possibility there. Miami, it's a wild card. The Lions, what is up with the Lions?
I don't know. That was a weird game.
Struggling.
I what did he have like 250 something yards or something like that? Jameer Gibbs, 267, something crazy. And
Yeah,
they,
it's been
I don't
weird.
know.
But I mean, the
Yeah,
Ravens are really the Ravens play us, Pittsburgh, us, New England, and then the Packers. So the Ravens don't have as easy. We're the easiest team on their schedule right now.
yeah,
So that's the question where if Joe Burrow can pull his Joe Burrow magic, maybe I could be a believer. But before I even get cautiously optimistic, I got to see what happens Thursday night. I mean, the
yeah.
defense played better, this week, and really they didn't play bad against the Steelers. The offense just sucked the last 2 weeks. Like you had 2 weeks where the defense was terrible, then you had 2 weeks where the offense was not very good, and they just haven't played a balanced game. If they can play a balanced game, that'd be fine. But you know what's going to happen? I already tell you what's going to happen. We're not going to win if we run the table. We're going to run the table, go 9-8, miss the playoffs, and have a mid first round pick again.
Yep.
That,
Which
that, that,
I've been saying for weeks is that that's how the Bengals are going to do this. They're going to bungle it, and they're going to go 9-8 and end up in the middle of the draft again. And then we're going to miss out on guys like Caleb Downs,
mhm.
maybe even Justin Jefferson that plays for Alabama. He's a great linebacker, by the way. I would love to see that number 10 in Cincinnati next year.
So, I mean, basically, if we win the next 3 games, there's hope. But until you win the next three, I don't even think there's any reason to hope because you're 3-8. If you win the next three, that's going to put you, 6-8, and you're like, okay, well, looking at who's coming, we got a chance. But this also reminds me of what was it, '06 or '07, where all the Bengals had to do was beat the Browns to get into the playoffs, and they
Mm,
couldn't beat the freaking Browns when the
yeah.
Browns were a garbage team.
Was that the year we went 8-8? I think that was '08.
Yeah, yeah, it was an 8-8 year. It was sad. Just I remember everybody's throwing their jerseys off at the end of the game, yelling and cussing. Typical Bengal stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just prepare to be disappointed.
Yeah. But we don't have a guy like Tio coming in the next year either, so
It's true.
we should be okay.
Hey, but Joe Burrow, we are excited to see him play because if nothing else, he's fun to watch. Joe Burrow makes the game exciting. But unless, the defense continues to play better, which to me, it was Shamar Stewart the problem. Because as soon as he's not on the field for 60, 70% of the snaps, they seem to know how to stop a rush. Miles Murphy has actually had some pressures. He might actually be a guy. What is it, Cedric Jackson? Is that or Johnson?
Yeah,
Johnson?
it said Johnson. Yeah.
Sorry, get him confused. He's not bad. He's not good, but he's
Uh,
not bad. He's very okay.
he's
Osai is,
definitely a rotation guy.
but they're playing better without Shamar Stewart looking like he has no idea how to play football. So I mean that's just scary because that's your first round draft pick, and every time I've watched him play, he doesn't look like he knows how to play football, which is concerning.
No, yeah.
But
And they're doing and like they played their best football without Trey Hendrickson. Like when was the last time we could say that?
that is true. I mean, well, Cam Taylor Britt's gone right now. No offense, I want to put down an injured guy, but I think the rest of the secondaries looked a lot better. DJ Ivy played pretty well.
Yeah.
He actually stepped
Jalen
up. Made
Davis?
Jalen
Jalen
Davis.
Davis getting some reps there. I
Get
was
scrappy guys. Put him in
yeah,
there.
yeah. Um, you know, like I said, outside of covering Hunter Henry, the defense just eye test was like, wow, this is a lot better than I expected to see today. Like I said, I thought Drake May was going to throw for 300, which he
Mm-hmm.
threw 294. I thought, I mean, it was still under 300. Okay,
Yeah,
so it was there, but I thought Travion Henderson was probably going to run for 150. I thought uh, Mondre Stevenson, he was going to at least get another 75. He didn't have more than I think 12.
wow.
So, I mean, they played really hard across the board, but it's just about that collaboration and playing both sides of the ball collectively well.
Yeah, and that's what we're gonna have to see. And I mean, really, Al Golden, this is your week. You're playing a college offense. I
Yeah.
mean, it really is. The Ravens do not run a pro style offense. They have a mobile quarterback, mid range receivers. Nobody's great. They're not terrible, but nobody's great. And you have a really good running back. and a good tight
Trying to
end.
look, trying to look and see. Um,
I mean, who are you going to
because
have spy
Lamar, well,
Jackson? That's what.
Lamar got, yeah, well, Lamar says his toe was good as of 4 hours ago, but apparently, but he had the knee issue a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Now he's got the toe issue. So maybe he's going to be limited to be staying in the pocket. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. He's still got a good arm. He's still a decent quarterback. I'd still say he's a top 10 in the league right now. You know, even just throwing the ball, not even the fact that he can escape and run all over you at the same time. So,
I mean, the key is you got to have somebody spy him the whole game. Don't let him
yeah,
get out of the pocket. Don't let him beat you and draws up the middle. Don't over pursue on your pass rush. You've got to keep him as confined as you can and cover the tight end. I don't know how hard this is, people. What was I can't remember the cornerback's name we had in the Super Bowl year. Number 27. Was it Flowers or something like that? But all
yeah,
he did was
yeah,
cover tight ends. Why don't we
yeah,
get a guy like that again? Just what's your job? I just cover tight ends. Okay, great, but he shut down everybody at the
yeah.
tight end position. And
Well,
since he
yeah,
left,
because
destroyed.
you had him on the tight end, and then you had Mike Hilton on the quarterback at all
Yep.
times. So it was the recipe for success, and I think that's why we went so deep those couple of years that we had those guys.
Yeah, because all the
You know,
teams with good tight ends, we were able to shut them down because you had a big body corner. You're like, he's too slow to be a corner. Yeah, but tight ends aren't wide receivers.
yeah,
He had a
and
very special skill set. So,
Jesse Bates in the back end, Cheeto in
mhm.
the back end on the other side. Like you had two very profound safeties that could cover the field and cover it for you um, in the event that you miss something. And since we let both of them go, like Cheeto still had another good year after we let
Cheetah's
Jesse Bates
corner.
go.
Yeah, Cheetah's corner, though.
Was he? Oh,
Yeah, Cheetah's our lockdown corner. You're thinking Von Bell.
that's what it was. Yeah,
And then he
Vaughn was
was old
still young enough to keep up with the kids at the
until he
time.
came back, and then he wasn't.
That's, yeah, probably why they were okay with him leaving Carolina.
Yeah, because he lost a step or two. He wasn't quite the same guy. I mean, let's just go ahead and get into game prediction here. What do you think's going to happen?
If Lamar Jackson really is as banged up as the reports are saying, and they can contain him in the pocket, you still got to worry about, like I said, his arm accuracy, and you've got to worry about that running back in the backfield to not run 300 yards on you. So you got to mimic what you did last week, plus cover the tight end, which Mark Andrews is one of the top tight ends in the league, because he's just a freak. Um, So if you can get the defense to do that, and you can have Joe Burrow, make it the Joe and Jamar show again, I think we're in for a good Thursday night football because they always play well on Thursday nights together. I
Yeah,
think the
typical.
last time I think the last time last year when we had Thursday night, uh, he had what, like 194, something like that.
Something
It
like
was
that.
something. It was something stupid. It was close to 200. And he just lit up their defense. So, and then lean on the run game. I think that's the other key. Continue to lean on the run game. Go for it on 4th and 1. You have nothing to lose, Zach
Yeah,
Taylor.
well, you have nothing to lose. I don't know. What's your
You're
score
3-8.
prediction?
Um, it's kind of hard not to take the Bengals because because Joe is coming back. The line's 7.5, 52. Let's just say it. Let's go 38-31. Last second touchdown. Jamar's just wide open, and he chooses not to spit on anybody this time.
I don't know. I mean, I'm stuck between two cases and like going on two scenarios. One is Joe Burrow is rusty as crap because he starts the season bad. He didn't get a chance to hit his stride, so basically he's restarting his season. So you wonder if he's going to be any better than he would be at the beginning of any season.
Mm.
So, worst case scenario, I see it being like a 42-13 game where he just is rusty. There's no T to help out Jamar, and it's just, a mess because he's trying to figure it out. I'm hoping that's not the case. But even if everything goes right, as best as we could really hope for, I see a 27-26 loss.
Mm.
Just because Zach Taylor's going to try to do something dumb and go for
Go
a
for
2-point
two.
conversion again. It's like you pick to be bold at the wrong times. Like I get it. If you make it, it's awesome. But considering what plays you've run on 2-point conversion attempts lately, I don't understand. So when the game is on the line at the end of regulation, even when your defense is terrible, you typically want to tie the game and go to overtime. There's just too
Yeah.
many things that could go wrong on one play. So I mean,
Also true.
I just don't understand it. And hopefully he learned his lesson, never take points off the board like he did against Pittsburgh. Yeah, you want to go for two, but you just tied the game, and then you ran the worst 2-point conversion play in the history of the NFL and didn't get it. So, I mean, anyway, I digress. I go back. I think they're not going to win this game. I think the season's going to be completely over. We're going to be stuck in misery mode. Yes, I'm the pessimistic person, but you got to show me something before I can think that this team can win.
All right. So if you're going lost, that puts us at 3-9. What do you think the actual floor is, but when we're all said and done?
Oh, goodness. Let's see. 11 losses.
So what is that? 6-11?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the floor too.
Yeah, I mean, if we end up
It's
losing
kind of hard not to.
the last three, like if you maybe could go to 12 losses, possibly Miami could have a good game, or Arizona could have a good game, or Cleveland has a good game, and you just come out and play like crap. And all this is contingent on Joe staying healthy the rest of the season. If Joe
Yeah,
gets hurt, I mean, we could be what 3-14, like that's legitimate. That's not a joke.
yeah,
Because Joe Flacco, I feel like maybe like, guys, I'm not sure I want to play anymore. I just dislocated a finger. I definitely got to need surgery on my shoulder. I don't know if I want to
yeah,
come back anymore.
yeah. He's fighting hard, man, and it's kind of crazy. I didn't even know he came out and dislocated his finger. Like nobody in 158 knew that he even came out of the game. But shout out to Mitchell Tinsley though.
Oh, what a great
He
catch.
he he stepped up at the right times. So and I think that's why I think Jamar is going to be open a little bit more, is because people realize that, all right, well, if we're going to cover Jamar, they got this guy Mitchell Tinsley. He could probably do some damage. So let's cover him. Let's cover Mike. Try to balance it out. I don't know. We'll see.
I
I,
still
I
think
still think it. I still think I'm still high on 9-8 right now. But if 9-8 doesn't happen, I definitely think it's going to be like 6-11
yes,
for
that could be good. I mean, lose hard. You might as
yeah.
well if we end up losing, you might as well just continue to lose because then at least you get a draft pick. I hate playing for draft picks, but there's nothing worse than we fought hard for the last couple games of the season, won meaningless games, and the guy we wanted went 3 picks ahead of us.
Yeah.
That's
Which
always
tends to happen.
yeah. And you're like, but we won those 3 meaningless games. You're like, I don't know. I mean, I'm jaded, been a Bengals fan too long, and I feel like I've seen this story many times. Yes, would I love a miracle run to get 9-8, win the division, make the playoffs, and see if Joe Burrow magic can just continue a run? Yeah, sure, that would be great. But to fall short for the third season in a row and not really improve what you're going to be able to do next year because you're not high enough in the draft doesn't seem like a good trend. We're becoming the Steelers at that point.
Yeah.
Like, except we don't even make the playoffs. They at least make the
No.
playoffs every year that they
Yeah.
stink. We're going to miss the playoffs by one game for the third consecutive season if we win out. So that's like, ugh.
Yeah. Which is kind of crazy. Eh, Like it, I don't know. But what did I tell you a couple weeks ago? That we've had 11 winning seasons since 2005.
Yep.
And really, it's been since 1992. 11. I don't count the 8 and 8 years, but 9 and 8 or better. It's been 11 in 30 plus years, 34 years. It's
And
wild.
let's see, five of those were from 11 to 15. And then you had 21, 22, 23, 24. But you're talking just barely skating as a winning team
Mhm.
for the last two. And with the 17th game, 9-8 is 8-8. Like, it's not
Yeah.
really, it's a winning season, but it's not that impressive. It's not like, yeah, we're a tough team and we made it all the way through. No, you didn't even have a two game margin on your winning and losing. You had a coin flip basically.
Yeah.
So it's not a good idea. And whenever they go to 18 games in the future, then you're just going to go 9-9.
God.
Eventually, have
Oh.
30 regular season games, and it's
We're
all
gonna
about
play
money.
all year long,
Oh, gosh.
which is crazy. So, like, it was a bad weekend for Cincinnati
Oh yeah,
sports, right? Like the MLS, they lost 4-0. Their season, I heard Mo Egger talking about the other day. Their season getting ready to start again in like 3 months. And
yeah.
it's
It's
like,
really
what? Are you serious?
weird. Soccer is a weird sport and how they operate, and I don't really understand it. And they also take like a week in between, like so. And I don't get it. I have no idea how Major League Soccer works. So forgive me, people who are soccer fans, but it's not my jam. So for the first round of the playoffs, they had a 3 game series against Columbus.
Mhm.
But then this one, it sounded like it was like they just played one game and then moved on. And I'm like,
Yeah.
in what universe do you have a series and then not a series? Like, I don't get it. Baseball, basketball, they all start off with like 2 out of 3, then 3 out of 5, then 4 out of 7 as you get further on. What is that? Like, it's
Yeah.
either a 1 game elimination or it's a series. Not like we're going to start off with a 3 week long series and then go into whatever.
Yeah, that was the one thing I hated about the one game wild card in baseball. Like
Mm-hmm.
when we went to the one game in 13, I was like, this is stupid. This should be a series, a best of three, something along those lines.
Oh,
Because if
yeah.
they would have, like, I don't know. Because well, in a best of three right now, I guess they're staying in the home city, right? Like they're not going back and forth. So I guess it wouldn't matter because we couldn't play in Pittsburgh in, in that series. Like Cueto's dropping the ball, like that whole series was that whole game was just
That was
terrible
bad.
for us. It was great for Pittsburgh, which I hated even more.
Yeah, and I mean it. And since we're on baseball, because why not? The football season's not going well. I'm honestly, and I mean the Reds snuck in. I love that the Reds got into the playoffs,
Yeah,
but I'm not a fan of both teams not getting a home game. And I get it's a
yeah,
3 game series, but going into LA, you got to travel across the whole country. Yeah, you should have won more games. That's what everybody's going to say. You should have just won more games, been a higher seed.
yeah.
Okay, great. But that's a very hostile environment to play in.
Hmm.
So why can't you make them play in your hostile environment? And maybe that's just because I'm a homer and the Reds didn't get that treatment. And I despise the Dodgers. They're probably my most hated team. They've beat out the Yankees because the Yankees really aren't relevant anymore. And the Dodgers have an all-star lineup, 1 through 9. And if people say, "Well, their all-stars didn't win them the World Series," yeah, but they got them there. They definitely did. So
Well, I'd also like to point out the fact that the Yankees are starting to feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers of late,
yeah,
which is great because they're like, oh, rings, championships, 27-6 and whatever. Yeah, but what have you done for me lately? Oh, that's right, you haven't done anything.
yeah. Haven't won a World Series since I was in college. It's been a while.
Yeah,
I had a
but
lot
then
more
again,
hair
the Reds haven't won a World Series, since '90.
since I
So
had baby since before I had baby teeth. Basically, at that point, I
yeah,
really had baby teeth. So it's ridiculous. I don't know. Being a Cincinnati sports fan, it just doesn't pay. It's not a lifestyle choice I would recommend to people. And I mean, I guess if you have another team you cheer for in college, that's good. Then good for you. But I don't really cheer for college. So the Reds usually let me down. The Bengals almost always let me down.
yeah.
It just is what it is, and you got to keep hoping that they get better next year. But I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. Does Schwarber make the does he make him better?
Oh yeah, definitely. But is he going to be affordable for what the Reds go? He's expensive. We're going to sign this 45-year-old guy out of the Venezuelan league. He hit 25 home runs there. Like something stupid. Because the Reds typically do something stupid. I mean, they did a few good moves last year. But yeah, we want Schwarber. Schwarber even made a comment on a radio show. He'd like to come back. It'd be nice. But they're not going to pay him the money that he's going to be able to get elsewhere.
No.
So
He's probably
unless
going to
he,
end up back up in Chicago.
yeah, that or Philadelphia again. Philadelphia's got a lot of money to spend, and I mean, I know we can't change this, we can't fix it, and it would be something you never want to bring up to Major League Baseball if you're trying to get a job with them. There needs to be a salary cap. There
And a
absolutely
floor.
needs to be a salary cap because
And a
football,
floor.
yeah, and a floor, yeah, because the NFL, yeah, your team sucks right now. The Bengals don't really spend money well, but everybody has basically the same amount of money to play with. Where when you're the
Yeah.
Dodgers, we're just going to take a luxury tax. Well, isn't that nice? You can take luxury tax every year because you're buying every great player. I mean, you got Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, and there's 5 or 6 other guys on there that you're like, this would be the best player on any other team.
Yeah.
Plug them into any other team in baseball, and there's probably the best player on the team. And you have 4 or 5 or 6, including pitchers, that would be the best player on other people's teams. Of course, you're going to win the World Series. Like,
Yeah.
but it makes it less fun to watch. And I mean, people are like, that's just because your team sucks. Yeah, well, I'm never going to cheer for the Dodgers. Never going to cheer for the Yankees. Never going to cheer for the Cubs. Any of those teams that just spend money like it's going out of style. I would be more likely, and I know this is crazy to say, and it's a football podcast. Sorry, you probably turned us off if you don't want to hear this anyway. Thanks for listening. But I'd be more likely to cheer for the Brewers than I would any of those teams. Why? Because it's another smaller market, scrappy
Yeah.
blue collar town. Now, do I like the Brewers? Heck no, I hate the Brewers. Reds rival, don't like them. But I'd be more likely to cheer for them to win a World Series than I would for any of those teams I just mentioned.
I think I would have cheered for the Cardinals this year had they made the playoffs.
Oh, now I can't talk to you anymore. You are officially fired. Zach has been released from Talking Bengals. But the rivalry is not quite as intense as it was when we were growing up.
No, it's not. It's a different I don't know. Like early on, like that the Cardinals rivalry didn't seem like that thing big of a deal, in the 90s after the strike because of you had McGuire and the home run chase and the 98 stuff. Uh, all that didn't seem that too prevalent. But then, we were in college in the early 2000s or late 2000s, early 2010s. Like it was on like Donkey Kong.
So if it wasn't for Brandon Phillips, would the rivalry have been nearly as intense?
I'd say no.
I love that guy. BP is my guy. Still, one of my favorite Reds moments of all time, then we'll have to wrap this up because this is a football podcast, was him trucking Yadier Molina, who I despise as a baseball player. A lot of people like Yadi. He's just somebody I'm like, nope. I think he's a bum. He's overrated. He's not nearly as good as people say he is. And Brandon Phillips trucking him and then thumping his chest is one of my favorite moments as a Reds fan. It was great. It's very enjoyable. I liked it. And BP, hopefully he gets into the Reds Hall of Fame. Yep. Hopefully he gets into the Reds Hall of Fame this year because he definitely should be there. So Burns, I guess bring us back to football here. Let's go with closing thoughts.
All right. Closing thoughts is the same as what I said at the beginning. If anybody's going to be able to do it, it's Joe Burrow led Bengals. So let's go on a run. Let's go make this happen. 6 games. Make magic happen.
And when magic does happen, you should start checking out some of our merch that we sell on Etsy at Season Enterprise. We have a lot of great shirts over there. And trust me, if Joe makes a run, there will be some awesome Joe Burrow shirts that will be emerging at that time. Check us out on socials at talking_Bengals. Remember, the only G is Zach. None of the rest of us there. Even though Zach does need to plug our other sponsor there. So go, Zach, go.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. This show is also brought to you by W Energy, that is. If If you need some energy or a pick me up to get you through your day without the crash, check out W Energy. Multiple different flavors out there. They've got some new ones out there. Go to W, that's DUBBY.GG, and check out all their stuff and use our promo code TBCFB10. TBCFB10. And that is that.
And they have a great Black Friday sale going on right now, so check them out, get some good deals. Let them know who sent you. It's the Talkin Bengals crew. And my closing thought is I'd like to see a winning streak. If it could go all the distance, make it the best story in the NFL, great. Am I counting on that? No. But football's a game. So don't take it too seriously, guys. Relax. It's just football. There's always next season. And if you're one of the Joe Burrow bandwagon fans that jumped on, welcome to the real Cincinnati Bengals experience.
Yes.
Who
Yes.
Dey?
Who Dey?